Alright, so before we get started with part 2, let me just go over specifically which Gaara we're making because it occurred to me I didn't tell you which one. We are doing the, I can't show it all, the spoiler-free Gaara, as I like to call it. This is the very, very first version of Gaara that we see in the show, the youngest version, where he's still, or where he's like a kind of a mean guy. That's the Gaara we're making. This is my pattern. This is my book of patterns for any of you who wanted to know like where all the patterns come from. I make them myself and this is where I draw them. Yeah. So this is Gaara. This is the Gaara we're making. It's the spoiler-free Gaara. And this is him. Okay, so now that we have the head finished, there's actually one more thing that I want to do. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I think I'm going to do it. So I'm really upset that I didn't list this in the materials, but if you have any black thread or black embroidery floss, kind of like we used on the scar, we're just going to make him a little mouth. This isn't absolutely essential, but I figured I'll do it. So I'm just going to go in through the bottom and then kind of towards the middle, span about 3 rows, and then let's see, do I want the mouth to be lower? Let me. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, so I just kind of sewed on a little mouth there because I decided at the last minute that that's what I wanted to do. But you don't have to, it's not essential. I mean, I didn't tell you to get black embroidery floss in the materials section, so it's not absolutely essential. This is just kind of my personal preference. Anyway, one last thing that you can do is take some super glue and just glue down these pieces of felt around his eyes. I have no idea where I put my super glue, like I cannot find it. So I will do that later as soon as I can find it. But yeah, just take your super glue and run it around the bottom of this felt piece so that you can secure it down. And then you'll be completely done with the head. Okay, so now we're going to make his legs, and I've already made one, and I'm going to show you how to make the other one, and then you can rewind and make the other one. So the first thing you're going to need is your black yarn. And once again, like we did with the head, we're going to make a magic ring by wrapping it around our hand. Chaining 1. And then in the ring, we're going to single crochet 6. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're just gonna pull it tight. Okay. And now we're going to increase to 12. So we're going to increase in every stitch until we have 12. So in the first stitch, we single crochet 1, and in the same stitch increase for 2. In the next stitch is 3, and in the same stitch increase for 4. In the next stitch is 5, and in the same stitch increase for 6. In the next stitch is 7, and in the same stitch increase for 8. In the next stitch is 9, and in the same stitch increase for 10. In the next stitch is 11, and in the same stitch increase for 12. So now we have 12. In this next round, we're going to increase to 18. So we're going to increase on every multiple of 3. So in the first stitch, we single crochet 1. In the next stitch, we single crochet 2. And in the same stitch, 3. Oopsies. In the next stitch is 4, 5, and in the same stitch, our increase for 6. 7, 8, and in the same stitch our increase for 9. 10, 11, and in the same stitch our increase for 12. 13, 14, and in the same stitch our increase for 15. 16, 17, and in the same stitch our increase for 18. So we've just increased to 18. Now we're going to do one more increase round, and we're going to increase from 18 to 24. So we're going to increase on every multiple of 4. So in the first stitch we single crochet 1, 2, 3, and in the same stitch we increase for 4. 5, 6, 7, and in the same stitch we increase for 8. 9, 10, 11, and in the same stitch we increase for 12. 13, 14, 15, and in the same stitch we increase for 16. 17, 18, 19, and in the same stitch we increase for 20. 21, 22, 23, and in the same stitch we increase for 24. So now we're going to do something called back loop single crochet. So for every stitch you have your front loop and your back loop, and in this case we're only going to crochet in the back loop. So for this next round we're going to back loop single crochet 24. So in our first back loop, hold on. So in our first back loop we single crochet 1, in the next back loop for 2, 3, 4, 23, and 24. So the reason why we back loop single crocheted is because this first part right here is the bottom of his shoe, and the back loop single crochet causes it to turn upwards to form the front of his foot. So now we're going to start crocheting, and you're slowly going to start seeing the foot shape form. So in this next round, we're just going to single crochet 24, no more back loop single crochets, just regular single crochets. So single crochet 24. 1, 2, 3, 22, 23, and 24. Okay, so now we're going to do a couple of decrease rounds, and these decrease rounds are a bit special because we're not decreasing evenly, we're not decreasing on multiples. We're going to decrease so that the front of his foot starts to form. So instead of thinking of this in rounds, I'm going to think of it as units of stitches. So I'll tell you single crochet 8, decrease 4, single crochet 8, something like that, so that you can focus on each section and make sure that you're decreasing in the right places. So for this first group, next thing we're going to do, we are going to single crochet 8. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And for this next group, we're going to decrease 4 times. So we're going to decrease for kind of 8 stitches, but 4 decreases. So the first stitch 1 and 2 are our first decrease. 3 and 4 are our second decrease. 5 and 6 are our third decrease. And 7 and 8 are our fourth decrease. So now we're going to single crochet another 8. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And as you can see, let me just tuck this tail in here. So as you can see, kind of it started to go in like this, and that's forming the front of his foot. Okay, so in this next round, we're going to single crochet 8, decrease 2, single crochet 8. So for this first chunk, we're going to single crochet 8. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we're going to decrease. So in this next chunk, we're going to do 2 decrease or decrease in 4 stitches. So stitch 1 and 2 are decreased together, and 3 and 4 are decreased together. And now we're going to single crochet another 8. So single crochet 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so now we should have 18 stitches. And now we're going to do another decrease round. And this time we're going to single crochet 8, decrease 1, single crochet 8. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now we're going to do 1 decrease. So we decrease stitch 1 and 2 for 1 decrease. And now we single crochet another 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now we have 17 stitches, and we're just gonna single crochet 17 all the way around. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 16, and 17. Okay, so we've just single crocheted 17. Now we're gonna do one more decrease round. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the entire reason why we're doing this decrease round is because we have 17 stitches, and prime numbers make me feel uncomfortable, so we're going to decrease so that we have 16 stitches, because 16 is a nice even square number, and yeah, it's just the entire reason why we're decreasing right now is because I'm insane and prime numbers just make me feel claustrophobic. So we're going to decrease so that we have 16. Wonderful, even, divisible by many different things, square, number 16. So we're going to single crochet 7, decrease, single crochet 8. So we single crochet 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now we're going to decrease. So we put our hook through the front loop of 1 and 2 and make a decrease. And now we're going to single crochet 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, we've just single crocheted 5, and now we're about to change colors. So we need to take our cream colored yarn right here and place it between our hook and our working yarn and keep going for 6, 7, and for 8 we pull through with black and then yarn over and pull through with cream to change colors to cream. All right. And just kind of tuck your tail away into here. Okay, so now we're going to do another round of back loop single crochets. This time we're doing a back loop single crochet to kind of make a little bit of a lip where his ankle enters his boot. So I don't know if you can see what's happening here, but there's a little bit of a groove where his ankle kind of enters his shoe, and this kind of makes it a little bit more shoe-like, I feel. So we're gonna do more back loop single crochets. So we're just gonna do one round for that 16 stitches of back loop single crochets. So in this first stitch, we back loop single crochet 1, 2, and 3. At this point you can cut your black yarn, and actually you can use a little bit of this black yarn to stuff the foot, which is what I'm gonna do, because you got to make sure that for this one you kind of want to stuff as you go, because if you wait till the very end it's going to be a little bit difficult. So I'm just gonna stuff that into there. All right, and moving on for 4, 5, 6, 15, and 16. So we've just back loop single crocheted 16. Now we're going to do 2 rounds of just regular single crochets. So that would be 32 stitches. So just single crochet continuously around for 32 stitches. At the end of the 32 stitches, we're going to change back to black. So I'm going to meet you slightly before the end of 2 rounds so that we can change colors together. But I would say single crochet 29 stitches, and I'll meet you back after 29 stitches so that we can do the last 3 stitches together. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 28, and 29. So I've just single crocheted 29, and now I'm going to start incorporating my black yarn so that we can prepare to change back. Okay, so continuing for 30, 31, and And for 32, yarn over with black and pull through to change colors. Okay. So in this next round, we're going to do some front loop single crochets. And we're also going to increase at the same time because let me show you this other leg. You notice that this is where his pants start, or his trousers for those of you who are British, but I'm American and to me pants means trousers and it doesn't mean underwear. So where his pants start, we're going to front loop single crochet to make it puff out a little bit, and also we're going to increase to make it bigger, just to make a differentiation between his actual ankle and his pants. So, like I said in the beginning, this is a more advanced tutorial, so I'm not doing a lot of demonstration for front and back loop single crochets because I'm assuming most of you already know that. So, front loop single crochet, we just go through the front loop only. So in this round, we are going to increase to 18 from 16. So we're going to front loop single crochet 7 and increase, which means we're going to increase on every multiple of 9. So we front loop single crochet 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to cut our cream yarn. And I'm going to do what I did with the black yarn and cut a bit of a long tail just so that I can stuff it a little bit. And again, like I said before, we kind of want to stuff as we go so that we don't have to wait till the end to do it, because if we wait till the end to do it, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Okay, so that was 3, and moving on for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and in the same stitch, our increase for 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and in the same front loop, our increase for 18. So one thing I want to mention is that when we do our increases for this round, they are all in the front loops. These are all front loop increases. So make sure that all of your stitches for this last round were in the front loop only. And if you look inside, you can see kind of the lip for my back loops. Those are all my back loops right there. Okay, so now we're all done with our round, and now we're just going to single crochet continuously around. We're not going to do front loop single crochets anymore. We're just going to do regular single crochets, and we're going to do those for 12 rounds. So what I like to do is just put in a piece of scrap yarn to mark my stitches, or to mark my starting place, and just single crochet continuously around for 12 rounds. And I will meet you back here when we are all done with 12 rounds. Remember, 12 rounds of regular single crochets, not front loop single crochets, just regular single crochets for 12 rounds. All right, so I've come to the end of my 12 rounds, and now I am going to slip stitch to finish off, and we will be all done with the leg. And then just cut kind of a longish tail, and you can stuff the leg. I probably didn't cut quite long enough a tail to get the leg completely stuffed. Oh, maybe I did. And you could take extra stuffing and doesn't have to be completely full yet. Okay. So now we are going to crochet the rest of his body. So what we need is, I'm gonna make this like that, are both of his legs. So if you've only crocheted one leg, then rewind this and make the second leg. But for me, I have two, so we're gonna move on. So what you need to do is kind of line them up so that they're facing forward, and take your black yarn and make a slip knot, and place the slip knot on your hook and line up your legs and find kind of the middle stitch that would join his legs together, and stick it through on the first leg. Okay, and then go through on the second leg like this, and then you yarn over and you pull through both legs and slip stitch to join them together. So now they should be joined together. And each leg has 18 stitches, so that means that we'll have 36 stitches once we crochet all the way around. So what you need to do is, on this first leg, find the stitch that you slip stitched into and go back through that leg only. Don't go through both legs, just go through the one leg, and single crochet one. So we're just going to go through all the way around and single crochet one in each stitch so that we have 36 stitches. I just made one. Now here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna tuck that tail in. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18, and it's probably gonna be hard to see because I'm using black yarn, but I've single crocheted one in every stitch for this entire leg. Okay, so now I'm gonna cross over onto the next leg, and in the stitch that I slip stitched into on this leg, or that I made my slip knot, we're gonna go back through that stitch and single crochet one to come over onto the other leg, and moving on for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So now we have 18 stitches on each leg for a total of 36. So now these are all one. So now what you're going to do is you're going to put your stitch marker back in, and you're going to single crochet continuously around for 4 rounds of 36 stitches. So just single crochet continuously around for 4 rounds, and I will meet you back here when that is all done. Okay, so I've just come to the end of my 4 rounds, and so now I'm going to take out my stitch marker. Okay, so now we're going to do a decrease round, and we're going to decrease on multiples of 18. So we're just going to do 2 decreases for this round. So in this first stitch, we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then 17 and 18 are decreased together. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, and then 35 and 36 are decreased together. So now we've just decreased from 36 stitches down to 34 stitches, and now we're going to do one round where we just single crochet continuously around. So we're going to single crochet 34 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 33, and 34. Okay, so we just single crocheted 34 stitches. Now we're going to do another decrease round, and we're going to decrease from 34 down to 32. So we're going to decrease on every multiple of 17. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then 16 and 17 are decreased together. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and then 33 and 34 are decreased together. And one thing that you'll start to notice is that the places where you're decreasing are slowly going to kind of start to migrate around. And that's fine, that's perfectly normal, so don't worry about that. All right, so we've just decreased from 34 down to 32, and now we're going to do another round where we just single crochet 1 in every stitch. So single crochet 32. 1, 31, and 32. Okay, so we've just single crocheted 32 stitches. Now we're going to do another decrease round, and we're going to decrease from 32 stitches down to 30 stitches by decreasing on every multiple of 16. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15 and 16 are decreased together. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and then 31 and 32 are decreased together. Now we're going to do another round where we just single crochet one in every stitch, and since we just decreased from 32 down to 30 stitches, that means we're gonna crochet 30 stitches. Single crochet 30 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 30. Okay, so before we move on, now would be a good time to stuff it, because we do want to stuff as we go, because if we wait until the end, it's going to be really, really difficult to stuff. So get some stuffing. You don't have to stuff it like completely full right now, but just make sure that you get the last of the legs stuffed if your legs are still a little empty. Because eventually we're gonna decrease down to the point where it's gonna make it really difficult to stuff it. And one thing that you're gonna notice is as we're going, the body's gonna look kind of long and the legs are gonna look kind of short. That's fine. Once we get everything on him, it won't look quite so weird anymore. But there we go, that's a good amount of stuffing for now. And now we can move on. So we just single crocheted 30 stitches. Now we're going to do another decrease round, and we're going to decrease from 30 stitches down to 28 stitches. So we're going to decrease on every multiple of 15. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then 14 and 15 are decreased together. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and then 29 and 30 are decreased together. Now we're going to do another round where we just single crochet continuously. So single crochet 28 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 27, and 28. Okay, so we just single crocheted 28 stitches, and now we are going to do another decrease round, and we're going to decrease from 28 stitches down to 26 stitches, and we're going to do this by decreasing on every multiple of 14. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 13 and 14 are decreased together. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and then 27 and 28 are decreased together. So we just decreased from 28 stitches down to 26 stitches, and now we're going to single crochet 26 stitches. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 25, and 26. Okay, so we just single crochet 26. Now we're going to do another decrease round, and we're going to decrease from 26 stitches down to 24 stitches by decreasing on every multiple of 13. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 12 and 13 are decreased together. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and then 25 and 26 are decreased together. Now we're going to single crochet continuously for 24 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 23, and 24. Okay, so now we're going to do another decrease round, and we're going to decrease from 24 stitches down to 22 stitches by decreasing on every multiple of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11 and 12 are decreased together. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and then 23 and 24 are decreased together. All right, now would be a good time to stuff some more. So get your stuffing. So we've just decreased from 24 stitches down to 22 stitches, and now we're going to single crochet continuously for 22 stitches. So single crochet 1, 2, 3, and 22. Okay. So now we're going to do another decrease round, and we're going to decrease from 22 stitches down to 20 stitches by decreasing on every multiple of 11. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 and 11 are decreased together. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then 21 and 22 are decreased together. So now we have 20 stitches, and once again we're going to single crochet continuously around for 20 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 20. Okay, so now we're going to do another decrease round, and we're going to decrease from 20 stitches down to 18 stitches by decreasing on every multiple of 10. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9 and 10 are decreased together. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then 19 and 20 are decreased together. And now once again we're going to single crochet continuously around, and this time for 18 stitches. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 18. Okay, and now would be a good time to add some more stuffing in. And now we are ready to move on. So we are going to do another decrease round, and we're going to decrease from 18 to 16 by decreasing on every multiple of 9. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 and 9 are decreased together. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then 17 and 18 are decreased together. So now we have 16 stitches, and once again we are going to single crochet continuously around, and this time for 16 stitches. So we single crochet 1, 2, okay. So now we're going to do another decrease round, and we're going to decrease from 16 down to 14 by decreasing on every multiple of 8. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 and 8 are decreased together. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15 and 16 are decreased together. And now we're going to single crochet continuously around for 14 stitches. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, and 14. And now would be a good time to stuff some more. Okay, and now we're going to do our last decrease round, and we're going to decrease from 14 down to 12 stitches. And just before the end of this round, we're going to change our color to cream and crochet the next couple rounds in cream. So we need to decrease on every multiple of 7. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 and 7 are decreased together. 8, 9, 10, 11, and now we can take our cream colored yarn and put it between your hook and your working yarn to start incorporating it. And continue on for 12, and then 13 and 14 are decreased together. So we pull through both of those front loops with black and then yarn over. And pull through with cream to change. Okay, now we're going to crochet, or we're going to single crochet for 2 rounds instead of 1 round this time continuously around. So single crochet continuously for 24 stitches. So we single crochet. Ooh, this is getting difficult because it's so tiny. 1, 24. Okay, so we are all done. So we're just going to slip stitch. And then you can cut your yarn and stuff your tail into the body and put any additional stuffing that you may need into the body at this time as well. And as you can see, his body is looking kind of long, but once we put all of his other clothes and stuff on, he won't look quite so long. So just to give you an idea of how this is going to look, and that still looks strange, but once everything is on, it'll look a lot better. Don't sew his head on yet though. We want to sew on like all of his clothes and stuff first. Okay, so that is his body. Next we're going to crochet his arms, and I've already made one arm, so I'm going to show you how to make the other one, and then you can rewind this to make your second arm. So once again, we need to make a magic ring, and we're going to be starting with our cream colored yarn. So make a magic ring with 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we're going to do an increase round, and we're going to increase from 6 to 12 by increasing in every stitch. So in this first stitch, we single crochet 1, and in the same stitch, increase for 2. In the next stitch is 3, and in the same stitch, increase for 4. In the next stitch is 5, and in the same stitch increase for 6. In the next stitch is 7, and in the same stitch increase for 8. In the next stitch is 9, and in the same stitch increase for 10. And in the next stitch is 11, and in the same stitch increase for 12. So now we have 12 stitches. So now we have 12 stitches. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tail and just use it as a stitch marker, because now we are going to single crochet 12 for 6 rounds. So just crochet continuously around for 6 rounds. Okay, so I've reached the end of my 6 rounds. Now we're going to do a decrease round, and we're going to decrease from 12 to 10 stitches by decreasing on every multiple of 6. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 and 6 are decreased together. 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11 and 12 are decreased together. And then we're going to take our tail that we've been using to mark our stitch, and we're going to bring it up to our current row and use it to mark our starting place. And once again, we're going to single crochet continuously around for 6 rounds. Okay, so I've reached the end of my 6 rounds, and now is a good time to put some stuffing in, because once again, this is going to get really narrow, and we want to make sure that we stuff as we go. All right, and now we're going to take this tail that we've been using to mark our stitches and bring it up again. We're not going to mark our place yet, but just get it up there so that we can for the next round. Now we're going to do another decrease round, and we're going to decrease from 10 stitches down to 8 stitches by decreasing on every multiple of 5. So we single crochet 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5 are decreased together. 6, 7, 8, and then 9 and 10. Ooh, sorry, 9 and 10 are decreased together. And once again, mark your starting place. And this time we're going to single crochet continuously for 3 rounds instead of 6, just 3 this time. So 1, 2. All right, so I'm not quite done with my 3 rounds yet. I'm almost done, but we're about to change to black. So I'm going to start incorporating my black yarn right now by placing the yarn between my hook and my working yarn. And just continuing for the last few stitches in this round. And now I'm at my last stitch, so I pull through with my cream colored yarn and then yarn over and pull through with my black yarn to change. And I've just changed to black. And now we're going to single crochet another 3 rounds in black, which would be a total of 24 stitches. Okay, so just do 3 rounds or 24 stitches in black. All right, so I've just come to the end of my 3 rounds, and now we're going to do another decrease round, and we're going to decrease from 8 stitches down to 6 stitches by decreasing on every multiple of 4. So we single crochet 1, 2, and then 3 and 4 are decreased together. 5, 6, and then 7 and 8 are decreased together. And now I'm going to bring up my tail to mark my starting place. And now would also be a good time to stuff some more, because from now on it's gonna get so narrow that you won't be able to stuff anything. Thankfully, I've actually overstuffed the bottom of my arm, so I'm actually just gonna take my hook and kind of break up the stuffing that I've put in there. And now we're gonna single crochet continuously around for another 6 rounds. And I'm gonna tell you right now, because it's getting so narrow, this will be a little bit difficult. So just do your best. And single crochet continuously around for 6 rounds, or 36 stitches. 6 rounds of this would also be 36 stitches. All right, so I'm at the end, which really got difficult towards the end. So now I'm gonna slip stitch to finish off. And I'm gonna cut kind of a, not a super long tail, but long enough that I can use it to sew, because I'm gonna use this to sew on the arms. And I'm just gonna stick my hook down in here and try and get some of the stuffing to come up a little bit. There we go, now I have both arms. So if this is your first arm, rewind this video so that you can get your second arm. If this is your second arm, we can move on. So now you can take your body and take your arms, and you want to sew them on right where kind of right where the black part ends. So the flesh colored part is actually his neck. So you want to sew these on right where his shirt ends. So, and I'm not going to pin these in place just because it's not really necessary. It's kind of small enough that I can see where I'm sewing. So just sew them onto his sides. You should be able to tell what part of him is his side. It's the part that doesn't have his feet facing out, and just sew it right onto the last row of black. And we're just sewing these on right now so that we can, it's just gonna make our life easier to sew them on right now. And just get a couple of good stitches in there. And then once you've got one arm on, move across to the other side of the body. Don't pull too tight when you go across, or else you'll close up the neck. And then sew on. Okay, and then once you have your arms all sewn on, you can weave this yarn tail into his body, because you shouldn't need any more black yarn tails. So just weave that in. And then once it's nice and weaved in, you can cut it. And that's his body. Let's just get an idea of what it's going to look like with his head on it.